Hello, hello, my very crafty friends. I am coming to you today with a spread. I would say it's a story or a crush storycraft crush, but it kind of isn't. So, I got the idea though from the Remember kit and the little circle pockets. But I think those have been in a few kits. And yeah, I didn't really use anything from the kit to tell you the honest truth. So, back when I think it's 2014. I'll show you here in a minute. Was it 14? No, it's probably earlier than that. I can't remember exactly. Anyways, me and my sister always take our kids, usually up to Higgins Lake here in Michigan for the 4th of July. And one year, yeah, it should have been 2014. I grabbed a great picture of the four boys. So this was before my niece was born. And we have tried to pretty much replicate that picture, just adding in my niece, of course, every year since then. So I wanted to document that one. But the main picture here is actually a picture that I took of all the kiddos in Florida when we took a family trip. So that counted as our beach photo, even though usually our beach photos are done in over July 4th. So I'm not sure if in 2017 we took two. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back in a lot of pictures and try and find that. But I substituted this one in because it is a full page photo. And I could put all of the other little circles over to the side. But let's get to this right now. Let's show you what I'm doing. So, right now I was using my white pigment ink to try and do some embossing. It didn't work out so much. I melted that lid, and I believe it's just trash now because it has dried up. But also I use matte photo paper for all of my pictures, and I have come to realize that this paper is not great to emboss on. It definitely soaks up the Versamark ink, and you just don't get a very good emboss. Like, it's just not very, so you can barely see it. First of all, it was also white. I thought it might show up a little bit better. It just didn't. So you're gonna see me move on to the rest of this and be like, oh, I need to reprint that. So you'll see that come here in the end. These photos are a smidge under 3 inches. I just put them in Photoshop, used, like I said, a circle that was under 3 inches and did it. And I'm also going to substitute that fourth picture at the very end. Unfortunately, I think last year I did not bring my professional camera to the beach the year that we went to the beach all together. And so I used my cell phone, and the cell phones obviously don't give the same type of hues and all that kind of stuff. So it was just like a real quick, oh, we need to get this picture done type thing. But yeah, this one that you just seen right there. I was the first picture that I took. So, all right, went off camera, cut all of those out. I am going to sew these on here. So I just cut out 2 circles. I'm going to cut them in half. I didn't cut them in half. I was way off. It's okay though. You barely can tell. And then going to sew the half circles on to my photo. Now, I'm not the best sewer, so I certainly am not a great sewer in half circles. So don't look at my sewing job. It made it, and it looks fine. My biggest issue was getting these on here to where they wouldn't move. So at first I was like, oh, I'll just use my adhesive, as you're going to see right here, and just put a teeny tiny dot, and then I'll use my eraser, my adhesive eraser. Well, you can't get under there with your adhesive eraser after it's sewn on. I don't know what I was thinking. But again, it's okay. I don't really plan on taking these little pictures in and out. I didn't really have journaling for this, since this is like just like one of those comparison spreads. I love doing these type of spreads where I show, this is really a thing I do a lot in my life, is do uh, the same picture every year to see growth and all that kind of stuff. So here's my sewing machine. It's just a little sewing machine. I think I got it. Like, I think it's, I don't even know. It might be a brother. I can't remember. I'll put it below if I can find a link to it. But I struggled, definitely struggled. There was like two that I was like, okay, I got this. And then the next one would go all wonky, but I'm not going to make you see this whole thing. I believe I'm going to cut it out here in a second. But yeah, so it's not really a story kit crush, but it is a story kit crush. I don't know. It really isn't, because I didn't even use not one thing. So what I did use though is a ton of the letters or words from story kits. So because after you seen me and the heat embossing didn't go so well, I needed a way to put cousins above the other side. So see, here's me trying to get all this adhesive up, and I'm like, you know what? It really doesn't matter. At least now my like little photos aren't going to fall out. They're going to be stuck a little bit. They're not super stuck. They're just going to be stuck a little bit, right? So anyways, I had went on to the story craft or the Craft My Story Facebook group and seen if Allie had ever written out cousins and sold it. And somebody suggested to me, why don't you just go through all of the ones that you do have and just Photoshop the letters together. And I'm like, why didn't I ever think of that? That was like genius, right? So I had like U and seasons and what else? Begin, I think I had to use for the N or something like that. And yeah, concocted them all together. It's a little wonky. I'm not going to say it's like perfect by any means, but I think it turned out great. You can't, I mean, it's like you can see it, but you can't see it. Again, this is not a story for like a huge story. This isn't a huge storytelling thing. This is more of like getting these pictures all together so that when you're flipping through an album, you can definitely see that. So, all right, using those infamous Daily December white numbers. I have 2 sheets of them, as you can see, and I don't really use them though that much. I don't know why. But now that I have used them, I want to use them on everything. I think that's pretty much where we're all at with these, numbers, and that's why they are always like selling out. You're going to see me pause because I was making sure and looking up the year of each one of these. But yeah, I'm definitely going to need some 2s. Of course, my 2s are gone. I've like legit just made it, I think, on 2s. But yeah, so that first one is 2014. Unfortunately, my little guy and my niece kind of like fall below that little half line. But again, you can take these out. They're stuck a little bit. So we have 2014. I don't know if we got a 2015. I feel like we did, because I remember having a picture of my niece on the beach when she was teeny tiny. But whatever. 2016, I don't know what happened in 15, 16, not sure. They're probably out there somewhere. I actually know that they're out there somewhere because they're on Facebook. But these were my favorite ones and the ones that I could find. 2017 is going to be the main photo when we went to Florida, and then you'll see there's 18, 19, and there is a 2020. The 2021 is the one. No, the 2020 is going to be the one that I'm going to substitute out here because I did find 2020. And then 2021 is this one. So there's that. Right now I'm trying to figure out what I want to do. Do I want to try and restamp? That was heat embossed, so there was really nothing I could do there. So I'm like, no, we got to reprint. And there's the reprint with the new picture. So that is kind of how I did it. I don't know. I loved it. It turned out great. I love the colors. I love, like, we had a great sunset this night that we did pictures on the beach. And this is probably going to be maybe the next mini family thing that I go through as soon as I finish 2018. I'm not sure. I have so much to do, guys. But yeah, this is because I love these pictures. So turned out real well. My little guy actually has a picture of him and his brother on this beach above his bed. He loved that one. All right, so just punching holes and continuing to forget that the albums that I use are the scrapbook.com albums that only have 2 rings. I hate that, and so I continually put 6 in here, but whatever. I'll figure that out eventually. One day I'll remember. That's like half the time I remember and half the time I don't. Trimming off a little bit of that side. And I felt like that side needed more. I really did want to put a little bit more embellishment. Oh yeah, I do put the year, the 2017, of course. Oh, so it looks like I had no, I had a couple more 2s. Look at, there's like 3 more 2s. Oh, I had to go onto the other paper though. That is right. I was like, I had to go on to the next set. There's no more 2s on that other side. I felt like it did need a little bit more embellishment. I really couldn't find any perfect embellishments. But I do go with this is our story. I think that's from, I don't know what kit that is. I buy random embellishments. I don't have these with the kits since I'm a digital user. I just buy them once they go on the sale. So sorry about my head there. And that is kind of where I leave it. I didn't want to cover up the photo. So all right, guys, when I'm doing this, I only have 7 more subscribers until 1,000. So definitely hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Talk to you soon. Bye.